As everyone knows, DEADMAN mode is back, and that means I am too. I've taken a long break from YouTube due to my current opinions on PvP, but now that DEADMAN mode is back, I'm extremely excited with its release and all of the new updates. As always, I'm going to be prioritizing PvP and Pking, so that means I'm going to be building my account as soon as possible to engage in PvP activities. My goal is to PK at the breaches. I think a lot of players are going to go there, and having that central activity spot is going to make for some great content. If everything goes according to plan, I should be able to make it to the breaches later tonight with some pretty decent PvP stats. But it's going to be a long journey and we've got a long grind ahead. While I was getting money on my other account, I decided to start off my new build with 40 range, and that there allows me to get this Avas, which is automatically completed with Animal Magnetism. A nice little update that Jags added to this version of DMM. All quests on this version of DEADMAN mode have advanced XP rates as well, so they're all going to be multiplied, and that means we got to bang out Waterfall and all those beginner quests to get a huge jumpstart on EXP. Waterfall quest completed. After just one beginner quest, you're basically able to level out of the first combat bracket. I decided to bang out a couple prayer levels, so I had overheads, and then we headed on over to the 50 to 70 bracket, and let's see what we can do over here and what upgrades we're going to get. Basically got half of Recipe for Disaster done, so we got some adamant gloves without doing any work. Next quest down is Fight Arena, and of course the Grand Tree, so we can now start Monkey Madness. We're about to be done Monkey Madness, and we just also got 60 magic, which means we can now get our God Cape. For anyone who's not playing, these are the type of EXP drops you can expect when completing a quest like Monkey Madness. Usually it's about 20 to 30k XP in each stat, but as you can see, those XP drops are massive and our count is already about to be in the third bracket. Guys, getting this defender was probably the worst experience so far on this entire grind. Jags decided to make the Warriors Guild a safe zone. I don't know why they did this. This is actually usually a really big hotspot for PKing on DEADMAN mode, but because it's now a safe zone, everyone is here training. People are AFKing. There's a ton of people in the Cyclops room. There's literally about 5 to 6 people per Cyclops spawn, which means that it's absolutely impossible to even get a hit. And when you do, you might only get a couple kills per 100 tokens, which means you're constantly cycling in and out of the room and only getting a couple kills each time. I think that this here took me at least 4 to 5 hours in order to get a Dragon Defender. And oh my god, am I glad that that's done. AFK'd 60 range at Rock Crabs. Now we can use Red Dragon Hide, but we're not going to stop until we get to Black. I had to let the server population die down a little bit if I was going to get my hands on a Dragon Defender, and I'm glad that I did. I finally managed to get this after so many hours, and now we can go back to progressing the account in the direction we wanted to. This was the one thing that I didn't think was going to take such a long time. The one thing that was really good about getting that Defender is that since it took so long, I was able to get 70 magic by alching in between hits, and now we can actually come down to the Monkey Madness caves and burst our magic experience. I didn't even have to do Desert Treasure because on this version of DMM, the way that it works is every time you advance a bracket, you get to automatically unlock one quest line. So while doing Monkey Madness, I unlocked the tunnel, and then automatically having the quest line for Desert Treasure unlocked. This allowed me to come and use Ancients and obviously knock out a ton of quests. So our account is almost PK ready. All we need to do is continue training. After about an hour to 2 hours of bursting, I ended up getting 84 magic. I decided to stop there because I didn't want to get too much hit points experience so I wouldn't level out of this bracket before I could go and chin. However, I did end up getting a ton of really good loot from those monkey skeletons. I got a bunch of sigils, one of them being the Guardian Angel, which I sold for about 1.5 mil. We also got an archaic emblem, which I sold so I could buy supplies at the new emblem trader. And we also got a bunch of runes and other stuff as well. So I'm not going to lie, even though bursting isn't always the most fun, it's actually pretty profitable, and with the right relics, you don't even lose any money. I came back down to the tunnels with some black chinchampas, and these things are actually pretty hard to get your hands on. They're not really selling at this point in the game, and of course, I'm going to try and get around 80 range. However, I ended up getting attacked by a bunch of lit members, and honestly, it's not looking too good. I'm in the middle of the dungeon, I have hardly any food, 3 people on me, and even though I'm not teleblocked, I can't teleport while in combat, so let's see if we can manage to make this work. Not really sure what those guys are doing. 3 dummies, 0 mages, 1 easy escape. Our account's ready to go, so let's gear up and go PK. While I was training, I decided to check out a bunch of different people's Twitch streams and see where people were training and where the activity was in my combat bracket. Seems like a ton of people were doing revs, and that makes a lot of sense. Low requirements, easy money making, and on top of that, you get some pretty decent combat experience. So I decided to get on Ancients, headed on out there, and let's see what we can find. Nothing too crazy, but a dragon skim, 100k, and whatever else he has on him on a day 1 deadman mode kill is never something to be upset about. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing a fat mystic kill on a day 1 deadman mode bank, and that's exactly what we got here. Another bank key. Can't really open these up just yet, but that kill is definitely a good one. We got a full set of mystic, a bunch of other gear, and 2 kills in the inventory. While I was banking, this guy decided to come up, and I'm not really sure what he's doing. He has like some weird vengeance, also 94 mage build with like hardly any other stats. Someone in my chat on Twitch told me that this is Torvesta. I have no idea if it is or not, but he ended up teleporting away, so I didn't get a chance to fight him. This has got to be one of the most unfortunate places to get a kill on somebody. He's too far in multi. I'm on ancient, so I can't telegrab it, and it's just not worth the risk in order to run in there, but it really does suck having to leave all that on the ground. After a bit of Pking, I decided to upgrade my spec wep to a corrupted Voidwaker. This is going to be a tier below the original Voidwaker. It has much less requirements, only 65 attack, and on top of that, it's 20% less offensive than the original Voidwaker. But at low combat levels, and especially on deadman mode, having a guaranteed special attack that's going to do automatic damage without fail every single time, on top of that, coupled with the Light Bearer Sigil, which gives you even more special attack energy, you can just keep pumping out specs and getting consistent damage, even if it's not that high. My max hit with this is only a 42, but since it hits almost every single time, we're going to be doing a ton of damage, and on people that have really low hit points, this is going to be a game changer and going to make our builds one of the strongest in the entire bracket. For a day 1 deadman mode guy that was killing revs, that's actually a pretty decent key. We're just going to mess around with this Voidwaker for a bit until the next breaches that comes out in about an hour or so, and let's see what we can do with this thing. And this is why you take no prisoners in the Revenant Caves. Even the biggest noobs have the biggest banks. Now this is what I've been waiting for. Finally, Jagex called a breach and everyone in the game teleported over to Catherby. Now I was ready to PK and I don't really care about the NPCs that are spawning. I understand there's a ton of loot to be made, but I'm here for blood and that's exactly what I was going to do. Anyone here I could find in some high risk gear, I was going to jump on them, and with the chaos and commotion and the accuracy of the Voidwaker, I knew I was sure to get some kills. Quick side note, every single day I'm going to be live streaming DMM content and mostly Pking over on Twitch. So if you guys don't already follow me on Twitch, just go to twitch.tv/abyss or check out the link down below in the description, and I will be live every single day with DMM content. So if you guys want to see this type of stuff live, or if you want to see stuff that doesn't make it to the videos, make sure to go and check that out, and I'll see you guys in the chat. That is exactly what we want to see, a beautiful Mystic kill. You just got to get him low HP, and the Voidwaker's instant accuracy will do the rest. Now this breach will go on for another 15 minutes, so I'm going to quickly bank everything, come back with a fresh inventory, and go for round 2. These breaches have got to be one of the most entertaining things that have ever come to Deadman mode. Tons of people located in a singular area, and I'm getting my pick of the litter. Every Mystic kid is on my radar, and I'm not stopping until I finish all of them. The Corrupted Voidwaker strikes again, and that beautiful 2-spec just got us another Mystic PK. The breach was pretty much over at this point. I just waited out the remainder of my keys, and now we can go check to see what's inside, and honestly, I do have some pretty high expectations. And here we go. The first 2 keys was nothing really crazy, but the third key was actually pretty decent. We got a 1 mil key, we got a bunch of supplies, a crystal shard, and of course, 90 something K cash as well. So that's actually pretty good. Pure cash, 2 Mystic tops, and even that last key was a really good one as well. We got a Dragon Halberd. We can elk that for pure profit. And honestly, on top of all the loot we got from these guys as well, all of those kills was well between probably 5 and 6 mil. And at the current swap rate, that's easily over 200 mil old school RuneScape.